Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I love the energy. It's been an amazing welcome in. It is my great honor to be the one, I get to be the one that says welcome to our new rabbi, Laura Rumpf, and our amazing new music director, Hava Morel. And we have Jacob Glickman on the bima. We also have Sean and Andy and Emma, our musicians today, and Laura and Jamie. We were calling her Rabbi Jamie of the technical variety, and she is amazing. We also thank our Shamashim, Kim and Louie. And I am Rabbi Debbie Maserano, and I am incredibly honored to be standing here with all of you today, and I'm grateful. We're going to take an opportunity to say hi to the folks at home. We're going to turn to that camera and wave and say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And we also want to make sure that you know who you're sitting with. So please take the time to say Shabbat Shalom to the people in front of you, the people behind you. You might want to get up and find someone you don't know. I already asked. She doesn't want to.
Shalom, everyone. So great to see so many people here gathered together to celebrate Shabbat, this ritual that comes once every week, and that has really kept our people sustained and has kept our people coming together for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And it's such a gift to be able to be in community, and I like to bring it up as much as I can, just to center in on how much of a gift this is. And we know that given our experiences of the pandemic, just being able to be in this space together is such a blessing. And so I want us to really be able to take as much advantage of our time together as possible. And so I'm going to invite us in a moment to close our eyes, just to have a little moment to really be present in this space. I know with the hubbub of the week and everything, there's a lot we might be bringing with us. And Shabbat's all about letting all that go and about letting it just drain away and melt. And so I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Just start to breathe. Breathe in deeply through the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling the sensation of the breath entering our nostrils, making its way down into our lungs. Feeling the heaving of our chest up and down. Can start to reflect on our week, thinking about what we're bringing in with us, what's come with us, maybe what we don't want to keep with us, but no longer serves. And start to, as we exhale, allow it to melt down into the earth through our feet. You can feel our weight of our bodies pressed against the chair, our feet rooted firmly, planted into the ground. Start to feel relaxation moving through our bodies, starting with the top of our heads, feeling the relaxation in our necks, letting our shoulders drop down, our hands go limp. Muscles in our face relax. All those muscles we don't even know that we tighten up throughout the day just relax away. You can feel all that muck and that grime melt away like wax from our soon-to-be-lit Shabbat candles. So all that's left is just that pure light of our soul, a piece of us that is truly us, this piece of ourselves, this true essence that we get to reconnect with on Shabbat. This piece of us that is beyond healing, that knows and is the source of love in our lives. That place that feels the connection to community, that feeling of belonging, just that sense of enduring, unending gratitude. We can shift into feeling gratitude for this place, this physical structure that we sit in that has housed our community for decades, but also this land that we are able to gather on. This land that was once occupied by the Duwamish tribe, these people who knew what it meant to be living in harmony with the land, who saw Seattle not as a conglomeration of tall skyscrapers, but this land of tall trees, of fresh water, of salmon and trout. And we pray tonight that we may move in our own lives, that we can shift our systems and our society back to living in deeper harmony with this land so that we don't lose it, so we don't lose ourselves in the process. We honor the people who once stewarded this land and recognize all the contracts and the treaties that were broken on this land. And we honor the history and the lineage of the place that we're at. In gratitude and recognition that we can be together, and that it is a gift. It is a sacred gift to be able to gather in this place at this time, be able to light the Shabbat candles together and bring in this moment of community, this moment of holiness, and this moment of sacredness. So with that, we'll step through our Shabbat portal.
One more thing, as we enter into Shabbat, by bringing in the light of Shabbat, we are also sending out our light to our senior rabbi, Rabbi Ruth, as she begins her well-earned month of sabbatical this month. And I know that she sends us all wishes here and you as well, which we all received in a text. I want to say to her, she's watching, please go relax. So I would like to invite Hava and Rabbi Laura to please come light the Shabbat candles for us this Shabbat. To refresh. And we do continue to light our third candle in honor and memory of the hostages that are still being held hostage and those.
Okay. Once again, Shabbat Shalom to all of you. I'm Rabbi Laura, as was mentioned, and to many here, I'm a new face. So it feels fitting to start by introducing a psalm that celebrates the singing of a new song, Shir Chadash. Although the psalm could just as easily be about renewing a timeless song by approaching it with a beginner's mind. So whether you, like me, are brand new to Temple Beth Am, or this is your 12th year, or you're going on your 3rd decade here at Temple Beth Am, may there be a spark of newness, a spark of refreshment in your experience of Shabbat tonight. And may we not be strangers by the end of our services and by the end of our oneg tonight. Shir Chadash is on page 13. Continue on page 20. Lecha Dodi invites us to greet Shabbat as if she is a dear friend that we've missed, and we're so excited she's finally arrived again.
Shor v'zachor b'dibur echad.
Shabbat bride, we do so at this time.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. הדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת ככללה. הדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת ככללה.
Please be seated.
We can turn in our books to page 24. And we've already been reminded a couple times during the service how lucky we are to have each other. And we've been, we looked around at all the people around us, the community that surrounds us and makes up our people. And maybe we can even feel the presence of the angelic nature of the people around us too. Like maybe we're each other's angels. And so we sing Shalom Aleichem. We welcome the angelic parts of each other to come forward and give blessings. Okay, let's sing together.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Hayom. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzuri l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
In a week that celebrates a nation's independence, I personally have never felt a clearer call to interdependence, recognizing that we need each other in this moment. We need each other to keep up our strength, our courage, our joy, and our compassion. And that is what all of you are helping me do tonight by being here, so thank you for that. And it's with that collective spirit of lifting one another that I invite you all to rise now. For Baruch Hu, please rise as you're able on page 28. Thank you.
You may be seated. So I just spent the last 2 weeks with about 24 of our young ones at the URJ Camp Kalsman, which is a camp that I got to grow up at and then work as a staff member, and I had the privilege of returning to on faculty, which I never expected to be able to do. But one of the things that I really love about being in that place, the laughter and the singing of the children, is there's so much to be said around just being able to witness their experience and the connection that they feel to Judaism and to each other. But just being out in nature and being able to tune into the natural ebbs and flows and whatnot is just so magical. And one of the things I love that I don't really ever experience when I'm back home is this thing that happens at night where you're out doing your evening activity and then kind of all of a sudden you look around and it's nighttime. Like night has come upon you without you even really knowing it. And there's this transition moment that, and I talked to some of the kids about this, where like things start to elevate a little bit, where like there's an energy that kind of swells through, and it's right at this blending time, this time of transition, this twilight hour, and that's what we're about to praise God for, is that moment of blending. And the word ma'ariv in the blessing ma'ariv aravim is related to the word marav, which means blending. So we can thank God for the blending of day and night, that moment of twilight, that moment of special oomph, as we read together on page 30 in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bigvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishane itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla. Mavdil ben yom uven layla. Adonai tzavaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch alenu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We turn the page to 32 and read together in English. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Next song, the next prayer we're going to say is the Shema, the watchword of our faith, this ancient mantra that reminds us of the divine unity of everything, of God's oneness, and God's majesty and glory. And followed directly after that is the Ve'ahavta, which is a list of times that we're supposed to say the Shema. First thing in the morning when we rise up, last thing at night when we lay down, when we walk by the way, when we're hanging out in our sofa, living room, watching Netflix. No, I didn't say that, but the implication is there. And I was thinking about this while I was at camp, actually, and I was away from technology, and I was like, I definitely don't say the Shema all the times I'm supposed to be saying it, right? Like I don't say it every morning, but there is something else I do every morning, first thing when I wake up, and there is something else I do last thing that I do before I go to bed and when I walk by the way, and it's this. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about how, with all the gifts and blessings this brings into my life, I don't know that makes me feel any closer to God, but I can think about the times I've said Shema, and every single time has made me feel that way. Just something to think about. I'm going to put that away before I get distracted. And with that, I invite you to rise if it is your custom as we join together in the words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai
seated. Words are going to be up on the screen.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hands. They shall be for frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt bind them on the doorposts of thine house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
Thank you. I'm feeling that in a new way as a parent. There's a lot of instruction there to take to heart. Thank you. Perhaps I am not alone tonight, this week, in yearning for a kind of communal power anchored in love as a guiding force for how we show up for each other. This week, I happen to be drawn to the poet Elizabeth Alexander, who shared these words at the 2010 presidential inauguration, and they still feel potent. Some live by love thy neighbor as thyself, others by first do no harm or take no more than you need. What if the mightiest word is love? Love beyond marital, filial, national, love that casts a widening pool of light, love with no need to preempt grievance. In today's sharp sparkle, anything can be made, any sentence begun, on the brink, on the brim, on the cusp. May we be on the cusp of a brighter, deeper way of belonging to one another, and with that intention, we turn to an ancestral tune of collective freedom and gratitude. Micha Mocha is on page 40.
Como Chava
about a Shabbat service is that there are as many worthy and interesting prayers and intentions and reason for being here as there are people in this room, and then beyond that. So with that, we come to to Amidah, our standing tefillah, which will begin all together. We'll share words that are ancient and true together, starting on page 46, and we'll offer some moments for silence in which you can bring into the space whatever you need tonight, whatever prayers you've brought to the sanctuary. I invite you to rise on page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia gitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Hatzei Avot v'Imaot, U'mevi Geula livnei v'neihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh kol atah Rav le'hoshia, Morid atah, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayeh kol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, Umazir asurim, Umekayem emunato mishenei afar, Michamok kabal gevurot, Umido mehelach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Leman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Kedoshim b'chol yom yalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
Page 358.
Achat Shamati Meit Adonai תבקש. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אחת שאלתי אותה אבקש. שבתי שבתי בבית אדוני, שבתי שבתי כל ימי חיי, שבתי שבתי בבית אדוני, שבתי שבתי כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו, לחזות בנועם אדוני, to gaze upon the beauty of Adonai. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אחת שאלתי אותה אבקש.
It's great to have kava, isn't it?
Yes.
We now take a moment to think outside of the space to people who are struggling in mind, body, or spirit, who are not doing too well. And can imagine each one of us knows at least one person in our lives who's having a hard time right now. And so we take a moment and call those people in. And I invite you to do so audibly by stating their name as I move my hand around the room. And I invite you after the service to reach out to them and just let them know that they are not alone. Join together in Mishaberach, which is on page 253.
Mekor Avraham
We wish everyone a complete healing in both body and spirit. So this past week, my brother was in town. He was here for a visit. It was a specific reason, but he was here. And he often takes out my tikkun off of my shelf. The tikkun is the book that has the Torah without the vowels in it. Because he and I will both be reading tomorrow Torah at virtually the same moment. He in his modern Orthodox congregation in Berkeley, California, and me in my modern Reformed congregation here at Temple Beth Am. By the way, as a total aside, I think I just invented that language of modern Reform, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just mentioning it, I thought about this. The Reform here at this congregation in Seattle is very different than the Reform in the congregation I serve also once a month in Michigan. So it's, I don't know, that's a whole other sermon. Okay, so we were chatting about this parashah that we were both reading. We're both reading at the beginning. He gets to read the entire thing. I only have to do 5 verses. That was great. And we were also chatting about this whole book of Numbers and what the heck it was about. Glenn had taken a class when he was in college from the Torah scholar Robert Friedman, and he noted that Friedman saw in the book of Numbers a series of stories that sort of seemed to be put together. Many, if not all, were involving a rebellion or a group of malcontents. Last week, it was the scouters of the land in Shabbat. This week, it is in Korach, which we'll talk about in a second. And in the coming weeks, we're going to hear from Balak and Balaam and the daughters of Zelophehad. Most of these have people coming to the leaders of the Israelite community with a complaint. And the Torah seems to be trying to help us to understand a couple of things, I think. One, is it okay to question authority? Is it okay to gather people and form a rebellion against our leaders? Is that just and right to do? And 2, for what causes should we, could we, must we rebel? As Stan Fleischman of Congregation Dorsey Tzedek wrote, what is this rebellion of Korach all about that we're reading about tomorrow? And the answer seems to be more complicated because there are 2 independent groups of malcontents that are coming, each with a different agenda, egged on by Korach in the middle, playing power politics and manipulating them into a coalition. Sound familiar? The parashah is further complicated by the action of switching back and forth, sometimes very abruptly, between the 2 scenes, depicting Moses' confrontation with the 2 groups. So, on one group, we have Korach and 250 Levites, the heads of the Levites, claiming there should be more leaders. 2 of you, that seems ridiculous. There should be more of us. And in group number 2, consisting of Dotan and Aviram, and all of their followers who are the tribe of Reuven, they're coming and saying, we have too many leaders. We should be leaders too, but the Reuvenites are more prepared and ready to do that, and there need to be more people doing that, and not just the Levites. And Korach comes as the leader of both of them. All right, I want us to take a look. I love to do a little bit of Hebrew deep dive, so if we can have our slide. There is a phrase that is used in this parashah that is so fascinating, and every time, my brother and I talked about this for about 2 hours. Vayak ha'alu al Moshe va'al Aharon vayomrum alehem, in bold second Hebrew line, Rav lahem, ki kol ha'edah kulam kedoshim. I've given you 4 translations because nobody really knows what Rav lahem means. Rav means what? Teacher. But it also means what? Great, big, vast, many, lots of. And lachem is to you. Lots to you. Much to you. And some of the translations here are that it might be an expression that was used back then as you have gone too far. Or, more exacting, Fox is the one that tries to get it really, really exacting. Too much is yours, right? The first complaint, too much is yours. Koren has a fascinating one. You take too much upon you. They're talking to Moshe and Aharon. You are taking too much upon yourselves. And the last one from Misuda is you have taken too much for yourselves. And entirely different. So lachem can be, by the way, it's all y'all. Y'all is a singular word in Texas. I lived there for 20 years. It's all y'all, okay? That's the plural. So lachem, rav lachem, is all on you or yourselves in this case. All right, talk to the person next to you or around you or nearby. Which one of those do you think would be the best one to come to Moshe and Aaron with, or do you think was the one they actually came with? Go.
Wow.
Rav lachem.
Can I join you? Hi. First two, amazing.
Because I was like,
Okay.
oh wait, I can
Yeah.
barely read Hebrew as good as...
It's hard,
it's,
yeah.
It's hard, and I haven't been taking classes at the synagogue in my college town.
Got it,
Just
okay.
because I got too busy, and will definitely be too busy next year.
Fair, yeah.
Because I'll be a senior.
Oh, Mazel Tov, that's big.
So,
Okay.
like, I'm not going to have time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even
There
pretend
could be
to.
other chapters. Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Exactly, yeah. I was like, when I thought...
It might also inform a little bit. The next part of this is, let's say we choose the third one. You take too much upon you because all of the community is holy. Right? That's the next part of it. So how many people voted for you have gone too far? Ooh. How many people voted for too much is yours? How many people voted for you take too much upon you? Interesting. And you have taken too much for yourselves. Fascinating. All right, this is a conversation for the oneg after that we're having in honor of Rabbi Laura and Chava's first night. So talk some more about that in there. All right. So each of these two groups, right, are ultimately punished for their rebellion. And the Talmud teaches that Korach was actually punished for both of them and got both punishments. So, why was Korach punished at all? Is it not okay to express a difference of opinion than that of the leadership? I know many of us here have done so through letters to Davida and Rabbi Ruth, or our senators and Congress representatives. And some of us have staged rebellions with our parents, or our children, or even our spouses. What makes one rebellion okay and another one not? The great Talmudic rabbis Hillel and Shammai taught us the power of an argument for the sake of heaven, and there were rules around how to have an argument. Number one, after you argue or disagree, you have to be able to sit down at the table for dinner together, and you have to be okay, as I'm putting it, if their children become partners. Back then it was if your kids marry each other, right? So in other words, attack the issues and not the person. Don't damage your relationships in your arguing. 2, second rule, your motivation has to arrive at the best solution for everyone. Constructive conflict needs to be about solving problems and not trying to win. Third rule, You have to be open to the possibility that you might be wrong. There was someone in my life who could never speak the words, "You might be right," ever. And that meant it was always about winning. And for the fourth, it's possible to have a situation where both sides are correct. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs of blessed memory, one of my favorite Torah scholars, said, "What then made the argument of Korach and his co-conspirators different from that of the schools of Hillel and Shammai?" He said, Rabbeinu Yonah from Talmud offered a simple explanation. An argument for the sake of heaven is one that is about truth. An argument not for the sake of heaven is about power. The difference is immense. In a contest for power, if I lose, I lose. But if I win, I also lose, because in diminishing my opponents, I have also diminished myself. If I argue that for the sake of truth, then if I win, I win, but if I lose, I also win, because being defeated by the truth is the only defeat that is also a victory. I am enlarged because I have learned something I did not know before. What then do you do? What then happens when someone seeks not truth, but power? They attack not the message, but the messenger. They attempt to destroy the standing and credibility of those that they oppose. They attempt to devoice their opponents. That is what Korach and his fellow rebels tried to do. This week's news was a hard one for many of us, and these past months since October 7th have been filled with Hillel and Shammai moments and Korach moments in our families and even here in our Temple Beth Am community. The coming months leading to the election are sure to include many more of those moments. So my hope for us on this Shabbat, let us always commit to sitting down together as a community, even if we don't agree with one another. Let us be okay if our kids get together, even if we disagree. And let us make sure to say, "You might be right," and meaning it deeply. Ken Yehi Ratzon, Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Tiyeh. Aleinu. Please turn to the top of page 282 as we rise together for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula le'yotzer breshit, shelot hashamayim v'yoser haaretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim mimal, u'shchinatu zo b'govhei meromim, hu Eloheinu einod. Va'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz hayom Hayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad.
Please be seated. I'm going to be reading from page 288. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and people that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your neighbor walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved, and if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me most and best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. And on this Shabbat, we remember the following people. During this past week of Shiva, we remember Ruth Kaufman, the spouse of Arthur Kaufman, mother of Ken, Ron, Doug, Theo, and Kathy Simon, mother-in-law to Jen Kaufman and Howard Simon, grandparent of 18 grandchildren, including Noah, Ruby, and Oscar Simon. We are in a period of Shloshim for Marilyn Labarsky, sister of Rabbi Jonathan Singer, Kathleen Scotty, mother of Louis Raffler, Susan Raffler, Kathleen Nishida, John Raffler, and Kara Scotty, and mother-in-law of Kim Stern. Leon Davis Roberts Katz, son of Savannah Roberts and Ethan Bremett Katz, twin brother of Ari, grandson of Diana Bremett and Larry Katz, and nephew of Jesse, grandson of Shelley Roberts and of David Roberts, and Ruth Gelb, mother of Stephen Gelb and Alan Gelb, mother-in-law of Lori Leipold, Susan Gelb, and grandmother of Jacob, Lydia, Lindsay, Matthew, and Emily, and Renee Brovman, husband of Stevie Brovman, father of Paul and Rachel, father-in-law of Catherine and David, grandfather of Max, brother of Claude and Sydney. It is also the yard site of the following people: Ava Ansel, Dudley Baker, Fady Brigida, Shirley Bermett, Hyman Block, Beatrice Brightstein, Dorothy Kaplan Trodlier, Eva Chen Tao, Marion Coyne, Jack Croft, Charles Crickman, Max Eller, John David Eulenberg, Jean Eulenberg, Evelyn Fields, Cheryl Finkelstein, Catherine Fishman, Daniel Fishman, Suzanne Fligner, Michael Green, Max Greenberg, Hannah Gurevich, Alice Horn, Alan Jacobs, Vivian Kaplan, Leah Castleman, Jay Cornfield, Suzanne Kremen, Maxine Levy, Paul Liss, Leonard Martin, Louise Mentzer, Charles Mentzer, Margie Mervis, Janet Miller, Martin Allen Miller, Natalie Minkina, Solita Mittelberg, Henrietta Nelson, Bella Pfeffer, Herb Passero, Elias Rafe, Jack Reingold, Herbert Rich, Nina Rosenthal, Margaret Rourke, Barry Sampson, Ben Shulkin, Nina Silipsky, Morris Silipsky, Norma Ellen Schaefer, Yekarina Schmidt, Lena Schuchter, Harry Siddell, Noah Slonim, Alyssa Solomon, Sherman Strauss, Bertha Strom, Mary Sussman, Arthur Whitkin, Frida Wolkenstein, and Zelikesh Yamanu. If I have mispronounced someone's name, please correct it at this time. Or if there's someone who you would like to add to the yard site list, please do so now. My aunt Penny Robbie, my uncle Steve Robbie, my grandfather Jack Robbie. And I invite anyone who is observing Shiva to please rise. If you are observing Shloshim, please do so at this time. If you're observing a yard site, I invite you to rise so that we may support you. And I invite anyone who would like to rise in support of those mourning as we join in Kaddish together on page 294. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyom echon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehesh rabba min amaya Yit barach v'ish tabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh V'yit hadar v'yit alev v'yit halal shemei d'kudusha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. One who creates harmony on high, bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the inhabitants of the earth. As together we say, Amen. Please be seated. I'm supposed to say kavas? Okay, got it. I'm stealing your mic. All right. It has, hold on. Did you turn me off? Hold on, I'll turn me off. Man, all right. It has become our fabulous custom here. It's one of the wonderful things that we do in our congregation is every Shabbat we take a moment to have what we call simcha moments, joyous moments, the things that have happened this week that have brought joy into your life, blessings that you have experienced. We are actually have a great blessing to celebrate as a community because there are many rabbis in the room tonight. It is great to see Rabbi Kate Spicer, and it's great to see Rabbi Beth Singer, and it's great to see Rabbi Morel in the back. So it's wonderful to have all of you here. Did I miss any rabbis? Okay, there are a bunch of us. Okay. Anybody have a simcha they want to share?
Hi, my name is Elliot, and I've just been enjoying this beautiful weather, but my custom is when it's finally like 80 and nice and Lake Union is warm, I go and float and take a floaty out and just float next to the beach on Lake Union. And I did that today for the first time this year, and it was just so beautiful and soul enriching.
Hi, I'm Emily, and I have really two big simcha moments this week. I got to spend like 2 weeks on the road with like some of my friends in. I went down to San Francisco with a friend, and then I came back up, and I got to spend like another week in Bellingham with a bunch of my other friends, and that was like great, just like being on vacation and getting some time off. But also the other big one is I'm really grateful for the friends that I have because I don't know, without them life wouldn't be possible, and I have really great friends.
Other simcha moments over here?
Veronica, and so I have a few, I guess, but going to Trans Pride last week with a friend, and then I also saw Elliot, which was really cool. I started another ballet class with a Vaganova teacher last weekend, also Pride weekend, and then meeting a girl on her and really getting along and planning to meet up this weekend.
My name's Tay, and the Mariners game yesterday, anybody? We really needed that whole bottom of the 7th inning. That was really special. My dad was a member of this congregation for 40 years, and I just joined. He passed away a couple months ago, and the Mariners were a big connection point for us. And so yesterday, while that was happening, I was just bawling. I was like, oh, Dad, I wish you were here. But it was so special, and I felt so connected to him. So
I call those dad visits.
Hi, my name is Elsa, and this is old news, but I haven't been here in a little bit. I broke my 4-year publishing rut, and I published 2 essays last month. The first one was published in Rabbi Dunya Rutenberg's Life is a Sacred Text, and it was a memory of my dad during Pride about how he was a ACT UP activist and how his legacy is that I am a second-generation queer parent, teaching my kids how to live in the world and how that connects to my faith. And the other one was about Furioso, which was a great movie, and you should see it.
I'm Gary Goldbaum, and although our granddaughter was born over 2 months ago, she reached a milestone this past week when, for the first time, our daughter-in-law and son allowed her to be babysat at our home while they went out to dinner for the first time in 2 months.
So I'm going to call that grandparenting and not babysitting.
Rabbi Beth Singer and Rabbi Jonathan Singer and I retired this week from the rabbinate. And if you could see under the mask, it's a very big smile. And we're just so, so happy to be here.
That's all tough. Anybody else? Simcha moments. Want to share with everybody? Yes.
I'll use this one just for fun. I'm Jacob. Hi. My simcha is just having Rabbi Laura and Chava here. And in addition to that, Chava, for us, it's even more special a little bit, just because some of you may not know this, but my dad was the rabbi at Temple Beth Am in Tacoma. And Chava's mom was the cantorial soloist with my dad when I was a child growing up. And Julie's here in the back, Chava's mom. And now here we are doing the same thing together, and I'm assuming my father's proud. I'm seeing the same look from Julie, and so it's kind of a crazy full circle family moment, this service for us in particular. So such a joy.
I second all of that.
My name's Andy. I'm going to dovetail a little bit with you, Jacob. So Rabbi Laura grew up in the house next to me, and when we moved in, you were like 12, okay. And so it's amazing. It's really amazing to see you and welcome you here. Thank you.
So great. All right, we can continue adding to our simcha moments when we gather for a lovely oneg welcoming Rabbi Laura and Chava. And we will continue with Kiddush and Motzi, and followed by our closing song, Oseh.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Page 5 if you need it. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'rasavanu, v'shabbat kosho, v'ahava u'rason hilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'harta ve'otanu kidasha mikohanim, v'shabbat kodeshecha ve'ahava u'ratzon hinhalchanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim.
And as is our new tradition at Beth Am, we are going to distill this last moment of togetherness by standing up and making some form of safe physical contact with the person sitting around you, so we are all connected physically, energetically to this challah here as we say our motzi together.
Wait, we've got.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei ava. And tonight, my friends, we close with words of Oseh Shalom. May you, the one who makes peace, bring peace down to us and unto all the world. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you again to Jamie, to all of our musicians. Welcome, Chava and Lauren. Join us for Oneg. Get to know Chava and
help
Rabbi
our
Laura.
Shamashim by bringing your Sidurim back.